Hello, Sec people, welcome to another episode of mdkd's Ratings, episode 35. So, in today's video, I'm going to feature Glide by xmemo68x, Frosty Oneness by LBP3, and also Fallout for My Halva Tales episode 4 by Chatbest. Alright, and now, let's get to the gameplay footage. Alright, here we are in Glide by xmemo68x. Alright, so we have some of these sections, and we have some glider sections. I actually thought the first time playing that they were dangerous. Yeah, here we get a community prize, and I'm not a big fan of community prizes. I think you know that by now, if you're following me around for a bit. Now this is actually a bit of a short platformer. But it does have the basics. So yeah, we actually have to shoot these things to get through the levels. Haha. Whoa. Alright, let's go. Yeah, that's actually it with Glide by xmemo68x. I'm gonna talk about this level in depth in the studio. Alright, here we are in Frosty Oneness by LBP3. So, there was actually a lovely track going on, but I disabled the music for obvious reasons. Because YouTube is not always that nice with that stuff. Anyway, so I already played this level, as with pretty much all my levels. And yeah, I gotta say that this level here is... it's a platformer by LBP3. Please don't punch me if I get it wrong, but I think LBP3 was the creator who made what's it called? The Loco Roco remakes, I think. Oh boy, that took me longer than it had to. Anyway, yeah, so here we are in their new platformer, Frosty Oneness. Alright, put down your arm, Mr. Snowman, with your huge beard. Alright, so as you can see here, it has a bit of a winter atmosphere, which is pretty interesting in summer. And it also has these decorations. Can you actually say decoration with an S back there? I think you might be able to do that. I heard a lot of folks say that, like that. Anyway, yeah, we have lots of these atmosphere decorations in the back. I really think this here is fairly lovely. Instead of like some stars or something, we have point bubbles hanging from the tree, which is pretty nice. This reminds me actually of something I wanted to do in LBP Beta. I actually wanted to make a tree level, like where some kind of group was in a tree, and you know, as typical with my kinds of levels, it's like it revolved some kind of faction, you know, and it was a bit post-apocalyptic and stuff like that. Yeah, fun times in LBP Beta. Anyway, we have a arrow pointing us to the right. Yeah, this here with these floating platforms looks a little bit please don't take this the wrong way, but it looks a little bit uninspired. Especially because of how well, flat it all looks. But other than that, this level looks fairly cool and has a cool atmosphere, especially with the music and this orange light our character has. Alright, looks like this is it for our 3 minutes. I'm gonna talk about this level in depth in the studio. No way, how is this possible? You should have checked his pockets. I better make my immediate escape before the enemies find out what happened here. Alright, here we are in Fallout 4 Mojave Tales Episode 4 by Chatbast. I really love this series and I really enjoy it. But this time I'm gonna make sure that I don't show everything. I really don't want to spoil everything because it's a pretty long series with 3 episodes. And one thing I really want to mention here, Chatbast is really good with these post-apocalyptic New Vegas sceneries, and I think it really does a good job with it. Warning, you're approaching an enemy camp, be ready. Alright, let's see. I think I got a visual on 4 tangos, all armed, and one of them appears to have a frag grenades equipped. Doesn't look like they suspect a thing. They must be behind the camps or something. Jesus, I remember it took 3 rounds to put down the checked up enemy. So there's a gang of enemies nearby. Alright, we're just going to skip that. And that. Yeah, so basically Chatbast included some stealth mechanics, which I think is pretty nice. So we're just going to try to move slowly and not trigger those bear traps. Hold on a minute. They somehow didn't notice me. It's the chems, kid. Alright, yeah, this time I wanted to actually try stealth because a lot of shooting last time I played this. That's pretty nice. But we actually need to move as slow and like keep moving that slow. Otherwise they're going to notice me more. So basically they took chems, which is, well, folks are addicted to chems in real life. And there are facilities. I'm not gonna say the real word. Just in case. Just in case. I always get hit with these things. Anyway, yeah, so we have a booby trap there, another one here. This is also something I really love when levels have a bit more depth to them. Not just left, right, but also a bit of, you know, depth, quite literally. Alright, so we are at 3 minutes and this is part 2, which I'm not going to show here. We actually have part 2 and part 3, and if you want to see the rest, you gotta play it for yourself in LBP. Other than that, let's skip to the ratings. Alright, and now let's get to the ratings. So, Glide by xmemo68x. So the basic gameplay is here, and there's also a bit of variety of gameplay elements. And this level also has a good pace, so it doesn't have unnecessary long pauses and so on. Now, the visual design is weak, and just the overall presentation of the level is a bit weak. It does have music that changes pretty fast, and which is very noticeable for a platformer with this length. And yeah, I think the level, the presentation could have been a bit different, especially with that background. I think xmemo68x could have worked a bit more with the background and change the design a bit, and maybe stick to 1 or 2 soundtracks, especially for that length of the level. Now this is a solid platformer, and I think it could be a bit better if it was a bit longer and if it had a better presentation. Now we have Frosty Oneness by LBP3. Now this level also has, well, platformer gameplay, and it's pretty neat. It also keeps you going for roughly 4 minutes, and I gotta say that I enjoyed it. It's also having a good pace to it. Now the visual design is really good for the most part. The music is also pretty good. There was just this one spot that I think I showed in the gameplay footage, which was a bit weak looking, a bit flat and uninspired in my opinion. But other than that, the visual design was fairly neat. Now this is a great platformer. Alright, and the last one, Fallout 4 Mojave Tales Episode 4 by Chatbast. Now, I really love his series, and I gotta say that this level here is no exception to that. So the gameplay is fairly neat. We have the shooter gameplay, but also stealth gameplay, and you're actually getting rewarded if you have success with the stealth mechanics, and I think that's a pretty cool thing, and not only in what I've shown but also in part 2 and part 3 you can also use stealth or also shoot your enemies, and I think that's really neat for this type of level. Now the visual design is pretty great. Now I actually own New Vegas and I roughly know what it looks like, and I gotta say now that Chad Best did a really good job not only replicating the look of New Vegas but also in general post-apocalyptic desert landscape, and I think that really is top-notch work by Chad Best. Now this is a really great level, and just in general I think you should play the whole series yourself. It's definitely worth it. Alright, and this is it with episode 35 of mdkd's ratings. Now I've been gone for a long time, but I'm back again with full power doing my episodes, so stay tuned if you want to watch more. And of course I have to thank you folks before going off. Thank you all for watching, thanks to the creators, I hope the feedback helps. See you in the next one.